Here's a collage featuring representatives from the Club Fair 2015 at the New York City Lab School. What we're going to do today is create an updated version, one featuring representatives from September 2016. So in our last class, you guys created and submitted these PNGs, and what I'm going to do with you today is share with you the folder. Now, you can look at all your classmates' work in this view. Alternatively, if you click this icon right here, it can pull up the grid view, and that might make it a little bit easier to identify who is in what grid or group rather. So a few things. You guys did a really tremendous job, and when I click on Anime Club, for example, I can see that there's this white and gray checkers on the outside of the individuals, and that means that it's transparent. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Some of us, however, did not submit it with the background deleted, meaning that when you saved it as a PNG, as this individual did, because the background was not deleted, we're left with this sort of white space. So what that looks like is, for example, I got a jump start on the collage. If we grab animal abuse, we can drag this to our new collage. We can sort of transfer it in two different ways. The first way is simply using the move tool and click and drag it to the collage itself by sort of shifting it over that tab, holding left click and then releasing. The other way, I'm going to press, I'm going to go back. The other way to do this is pressing Command A, Command C, and then Command V. So that does a little Command All, Command Copy, Command Paste. And what I know, unfortunately, is because there's this lack of transparency, it looks like this, right? And so that doesn't look professional or tremendous. What we're going to be doing today, and let me click and drag this to the garbage can, we're going to be creating a collage that looks a little bit like this, where everybody is sort of overlapping, and you're going to be submitting two final versions as JPEGs in our next class. So today we're going to be saving this as a PSD because we're going to want to make sure that we have the layers and we can adjust it. Tomorrow you're going to be submitting it as a JPEG. Please keep in mind, however, that there needs to be a lot of space at the top. And so what that means is I'm actually going to have to shift or shrink all of these layers. To do that, I could shrink each one individually by pressing Command T, holding Shift, and then going like that. But what I want to do is a little bit of a shortcut. So I'm going to click on layer 2, which is the bottom one, which is, I guess, No Kid Hungry. We've got Black Alliance, we've got Girls Who Code, and then Anime and Music Appreciation. I'm going to click on the bottom layer, I'm going to hold Command, and then I'm going to click on the top layer. And okay, hold Command, actually, let's see. There we go. I lied. If you click on the bottom layer and then hold Shift and click on the top, that will select all the layers. Because they're all selected, when we press Command T and then hold Shift, we can then shrink these all down together simultaneously. So that makes things a little bit easier. And then what we can do is we can go back and I can click on this image right here and shift this around individually. One final point as we're moving on today, there can be a little bit, there has to be, right, a little bit of overlap in this collage. So for example, I want to see the word code in girls. The word who isn't necessarily critical, right? I do want to see music appreciation, but this is sort of redundant. So if there's another club that's going to be going right on top of this, um, that makes sense as well. So for example, I might consider doing something like this. That's okay. Um, we can see most of, for example, Black Alliance, but if we wanted to shift it around just so you can identify most of the letters in the words, uh, that's what we're looking for to produce something that looks a little bit like this. So even though yearbook there's a little bit of overlap, it still makes sense, as is the same with Lab Inc. and student government. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to think about color scheme and changing and installing new fonts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to seeing your work as a PSD.